both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Sia, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bytes podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bytes. I'm Ben, and this is Sia. Now, here's a question for you. Do you know who your clients are? And do you know why they do what they do? The first one's easy. The second one, as the expression goes, not so much. We need to sit there and think about it and understand not only what we sell to our clients, but why we're selling it to them in the first place. And what do they do with it? Whether it's a widget, whether it's an idea, whether it's a concept, whatever it is, how do we understand when we pass that information or this piece or this, this tangible thing off to our clients, what do they do with it? And how do they make both their lives better and the lives of their clients better? Because that's when we become valuable. When we understand our clients' businesses and our clients' business, that's when we become extremely valuable. And all of a sudden we go from a purveyor of whatever and a commodity to somebody that's actually a business partner. And isn't that where we all want to be? So Sia, let's gnaw on this.
I have one word for you, young man.
Yes.
Ditto. I got nothing to add to that. Like, legit.
Are we done?
Like, seriously, we really, are we done? Because I think that's pretty much done. Like, that was like all we needed to hear. Because, like, seriously, it's what is your value to anybody in life, right? And it is, if you provide an understanding, take the time to walk a mile in the shoes of your client, then you'll understand what the mile that they're walking for their clients. I love that you said that because, now I've got the Depeche Mode song, Try Walking in My Shoes.
Right.
Love your analogy because it is true. If you can solve your clients' challenges, it's because you understood what they're trying to provide value for their clients and their industry and their market and their world, their language, whatever. That is so huge. And I know I didn't do that when I was in sales. I should have done it far more. And I'm so sad that I did not hear this from you when I was in corporate America, because I think I would have been more successful. I was successful, but I feel like, damn it, Janet, more successful.
Well, I have this memory. I spent close to 20 years in the promotional marketing business, and I didn't sell hats and cups and mugs and t-shirts and pens. The stuff that I sold was absolutely custom. It was for you. We created a custom bag with your logo in the lining, or a jacket in your corporate colors, designed exactly the way you wanted, or custom chest sets or whatever. And my frustration always was with my suppliers, because my suppliers were producing a tangible good. In their minds, it was a widget that, that they took off the assembly line, threw in a box, and shipped it off. And they never thought about, and I had to have conversations with vice presidents and CEOs of these corporations to say, look, you're not producing a widget. You're enabling this customer to communicate effectively with their client, build trust and relationships, and differentiate themselves in their marketplace. That's what you're doing. And the relationship changed dramatically when I got to allow my suppliers to understand that they weren't just creating a widget. They were putting together something that was important. Like, for instance, we were doing teddy bears, and understanding that these teddy bears are just not whatever teddy bears. These are going into the children's hands of children under 5 years old of our clients and our clients' clients. And they need to be safe, and they need to be durable, and the eyes can't pop off. and they can't have a choking hazard, and the material has to be fireproof or fire resistant, and it can't be made out of toxic materials. And you think about it, if my customer is giving away 50,000 of these teddy bears and all of a sudden they have a recall, it's not just the cost of the teddy bears, it's the cost to their brand, and it's the trust that's lost. And understanding that, when you can understand what is the motivation of your clients and how does it enable them to interact with their clients, all of a sudden the game changes. The game changes 100 different ways, because all of a sudden you're not just caring about the dollars that you're making off this deal. You're caring about people, and you're caring about impact, and you're caring about end results. And we need to do that more in our lives.
I mean, you're just on a run today, my friend, because honestly, I love the way you're putting this, because you just made me think, you're not making a bear.
No.
You're making a friend.
That's right.
You're making a memory. You're making a source of comfort and peace for someone, right? Like, you're the enabler of all positive thoughts. Like, if you put it into those contexts, I could see where, I think we were talking about the previous episode was, you just made me think of whistle while you work.
Exactly.
Whistle while you work. Do, 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 do. And if you can get your workers, your team to think more positively, like there is an end result goal that is meaningful, then they themselves feel like they are providing meaningful and value beyond, I made a fuzzy stuffed thing, right? So yeah, man, you got me excited for that.
Take it back one step, though. Once you understand what the win was for your customer, bringing that back to your team, or bring that back to your team and to your vendor that helped you create this, and allowing them to be part of the win, and sit there going, look, I know you guys worked hard to put you through this, but guess what? The customer, I know we stayed up all night printing and packaging this thing for this client and getting it out the door. And I know it was a rush, and I know it was a challenge, but the customer won a $500 million contract because of this. And they're not going anywhere. They told me next time they need something done, they're not going anywhere else, because they know we dealt with a tight timeline. The product was correct. It was beautiful, and it was there when we needed it. And they didn't care what it cost, because the amount of money that this project was worth, it was worth far more to them that it didn't happen than whatever it cost for us to charge them. So when you can get your team to understand that all the work that they did, all the effort that they did, the overtime, the sweat, the blood, the tears, there was actually some really great things that came along with it. That's an amazing thing. A perfect example. I was at a restaurant with a new client, and I had never been to this restaurant before. She suggested it, and when we left, we'd had great service. The food was good. It came out hot. It was well presented, and it didn't take forever to get the meal. And the waiter was phenomenal. He was just phenomenal. And we shook hands, and I paid the bill, and she left. I went to the washroom, came out, and I said, "Can I speak to your manager, please?" And all of a sudden, you get this freak out look of people.
Like, why?
Like, oh my God, like, what's he going to say?
What happened?
I finally get to the manager. I said, "Look, I want to tell you, your waiting staff is phenomenal. The guy with long hair, I never got his name, but he is absolutely amazing. If you let him go, you're crazy. Your kitchen staff were phenomenal. The food was delicious. It was hot. It was well presented, and it didn't take forever to come out of the kitchen. We were seated promptly. Everybody had a smile on their face, and my customer really appreciated the fact, and she's going to bring other people to your restaurant as well. I just want to tell you that you did a great job." We don't do that enough. As organizations, we're so quick to write that scathing Yelp review, but we're horrible at giving praise where it's deserved. And that's part of when we know what goes into something, when we know what the end result is and what was achieved, and we're far more willing to work harder the next time, because we know that that people are noticing and people are appreciating it. And when we know our customers and we know our customers' customers, we have the ability to pass that information back and say, look, this is what we did well. This is what they think we could do better. I think we could do better next time. What do we need to change in our process in order to do that? Who's got some ideas? And you make it in such a way that it's not, everything's not a point fingers and say, hey, listen, you screwed up. It's how do we be better together? Because we were great. Now, how do we be better?
You're making me think of this one thing though, as us, as if we're the outsider looking in to support our client, right? And again, solve whatever business challenge that they might be having. What gets me is we're a third eye.
Yes.
We're an outside eyeball looking in. And if given the opportunity to take the time to research, which every company you should do if you're going to try to cater your clients, understand their industry, their market, where they fit, right? Pros, cons, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. But here, client, here's what we see you. Here's how we, from an outside looking in, and we're not trying to call the baby ugly, but sometimes, baby might be,
might need a haircut. The baby might need a haircut.
Yeah, there we go. Right.
Or a new outfit.
Yeah, I really shouldn't be talking about babies. I don't have babies. But anyway, but look, you don't want to insult someone at the jump for themselves. But what you can do is, with that fresh set of eyes, offer some insights that they may have never thought of before. And that point is also where now you're in it together to win it together and say, hey, I'm seeing this. What do you guys think? And then now it's that collaboration conversation versus, and I've got this cup and you can brand it.
That's right.
Like, not the same. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I love, I tend to go to a bunch of conferences of my different clients. Like if I have people in the logistics industry, I'll go to a logistics conference. If I have people in legal conference, I'll go to legal conferences. If it's local, it's easy. If it's easy to go to. And if I see something that's insightful, or if I see something in a different industry that I think is pertinent to somebody else, I'll take a picture or I'll take a video and I'll email it to the people. It says, look, I just saw this. I think you could use it this way. And I think it would be a game changer for you. And the mere fact that you're thinking about them when you're not in front of them, and you're thinking about different ways to make their life better when you're not in front of them and you're not trying to sell them anything, elevates you as a consultant and as a supplier 100 times.
I love it. Yes. I mean, I don't even say it's 100 times. I would say it's 1,001 times.
All right. Well, I was trying to be generous and be 100 times, but if you want to go crazy, you go nuts, girl.
No, but you know what though? It's invaluable.
Yes.
That's the point, right? If you can provide an insight and you can solve an issue that maybe they didn't even think they realized they had, but it was maybe it's it's that thing with like solving the root cause of a problem versus a symptom of a problem, right? I think sometimes when we get into our sales cycle mentality, we're solving a Band-Aid, but we're not, or we're solving a symptom. We're not solving the actual issue in our pursuit of closing a deal.
Or sometimes we're not even solving a problem. We're just trying to sell what we have to sell.
Yeah. Well, now maybe what you have to sell can solve a problem. But it just may not be the root cause.
May not be their problem.
Right. So anyway, so that's what I'm trying to get at. And it's such a, where were you when I needed you most? When I needed a friend. That's an Erasure song. Anyway, so I think I'm starting to sing a lot of songs. We may need to cut
I think off. So. I think it's time to cut this off. And I think, you know what? I'm Ben.
And we'll
see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not On This, Business Bytes. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Not On This, Business Bytes.